going to start up here at the door handle. There's a little cover right behind the handle itself. You can use a pick, a screwdriver, a trim tool, whatever you have. Pop this out. That exposes a 10mm bolt. Take that out. Down here in the little door pocket, there's a rubber cover that actually covers 2 T25 bolts. Take both of those out. Pull this up. You can just let this hang right here. 2 more T25 screws. On the side right here, you'll have 2 push clips that look like this. You gotta press in the center, remove the push clip. Another one right up here. Now grab your plastic trim tool, wedge it between the door panel and the door, and basically what you want to do is pry the door panel out. There we go. Once it's out like this, slide it up. And right over here on the back side, you'll see this cable or the door handle. And the way to disconnect this has a couple tabs that you can press in. There we go. Pull this out of here, set it aside. And right down here, we have the main wiring harness connector. Go ahead and disconnect it. Now move your door panel to the side. Peel back this vapor barrier and insulation. I have my window switch plugged back in, key in the on position. Let's roll the window down, bring it down till you see where the window mounts to the regulator. Right about there. Now if you look through this little hole, if you line up the window with it, you'll see that in the center it has this little round pin, basically, right there. And that has to actually get pushed out through the back. I know it sounds weird. Okay, so the screwdriver went through, and here's this little pin that I was talking about. Basically what I did is put my screwdriver right here, gave it a couple good punches, and drove it through this center hole over here. Still pretty hard to see, but once you get that small one out, there's actually a second round pin in there that you have to push through. Okay, that just fell into the door. Now you can slide the window up. Now you can grab the window, the glass, slide it straight up, take some masking tape, stick it onto the glass, and bring it up. Then put the masking tape over the door and back onto the glass, and this is what's going to hold it up for you while you work. Usually I like to do about three strips of painter's tape. You want to make sure you use painter's tape. I mean, if you don't have anything else, if you have something else, it's better than nothing, but painter's tape tends to not leave behind any residue. So tape that up. Now it's nice and secure. Now with the window up, let's disconnect the motor. Use a screwdriver, pick, or your fingernail, whatever you want. There are 3 10mm bolts that hold this regulator and motor assembly onto the door. There's one to the right of the motor. There's one at the bottom of the regulator. And there's one up here if you look behind this little plastic cap. Pop that off. Okay, that falls right out. Now you can take this assembly and you just have to find the right angle to where it wants to slide out. Just like this. And there's your old regulator and motor assembly. Take the new regulator, slide it down in. So this new regulator actually has a stud on the top, which is helpful because this can just get hooked on here. So we'll grab a nut for it in a second, but for now, let's attach it over here. And of course on the bottom. I'm gonna go ahead and snug it up. grab myself a used nut that fits here. This is a M6x1 thread. Snug it up. As for the wiring, this is the factory wiring harness, and the motor comes with a little bit of extra wiring, which is okay. You just want to make sure you secure it. So I'm going to take a wire tie and secure it right here to this harness. That way it doesn't flop around, get caught in the window, get caught in the door. Cut off the excess so it doesn't hang out here. You can now remove the tape. Careful so the window doesn't fall down. Bring it down slowly. Make sure it seats itself properly inside of this regulator. Press it down all the way. All right, let's bring the regulator up. Key on, window switch connected. Roll it up. Also, this will test the fact that it works until you can see that slot back where it was when we took it apart to put these two little locking pins in there. So I have to go up a little bit. So I'm going to take the larger of the two pieces. I'm going to try and put it in from the back side because it doesn't fit through this opening. Trying to line things up perfectly here. It went in. Now I just have to push it through all the way. Okay, to put the smaller piece in, I'm going to put it on the end of a pick. Slide it in, kind of get it close to where it needs to be, and then press it into place. Make sure it's flush, like that. Let's put the vapor barrier back. Stick it to the door. Let's connect the door handle cable and connect the wiring harness as well. Grab the door panel, make sure this lock indicator goes through, and put it over this lip here. Once everything lines up, push it into place. Put these two screws in. Now you can put this in, starting with the front. Has a hook that needs to hook in there. And the two screws down here. Of course, don't forget this little rubber piece that hides the two screws. Don't forget about the 10mm bolt that goes on the door handle. And the cover that covers it. Last but not least, these two push clips here. To install them, you actually have to pull the center out, then press it flush to lock them. Just like that.